Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Immersive Engineering. Are you tired of having to defend your extremely large and valuable multi-block structures from other players or mobs that come by and just want to blow your stuff up? Well, that's what the whole home defense update is all about. So there are three key items in the what I'm calling the home defense update for Immersive Engineering. And we're going to start with the simplest of which, razor wire. Now, razor wire is very simply made with a bunch of steel. You will need a bunch of steel wire and steel plates, and you get 3 of them, and it's, one block, as you see here. As you place it down, it actually will have these little, kind of little wooden props on either side, and it will extend out. Now, if you try turning it, it's just going to try and connect like so. So it doesn't exactly work around angles. It's meant to just go in straight lines, more or less. But it will give a slowing effect as you go through it, as well as cause damage over time. Now, you can pass straight through it. As you see here, I walked through and up the stairs, and I'm in creative mode. Now, if I go into non-creative mode, I am currently on, let's see what my game mode is, difficulty normal. So if I pass through this, you can see I took a couple hearts of damage just trying to pass through. And I took just 1 there because I was going up the stairway, which helped lift me out of that a little bit quicker. Now, if I do something a little bit more drastic, over here you'll notice that I have a creative capacitor that is hooked up to each segment of the razor wire, and you can actually electrify it to a point. Now, it does not show any kind of particles or anything like that, but it will give an electrified response, thus kind of increasing its damage output. Now, it doesn't increase it much. As you see there, I mean, I was kind of going through it quickly, but it does take out a lot more damage. Actually, probably a little more like a extra half heart more. And as your health goes down lower, it takes out more and more damage from you. So you're going to want to be careful, and it only works with LV wiring. So you're not going to be able to put some high voltage on there, or at least not yet. It's currently only set up just for low voltage. And it does work with animals as well. So if I bring a cow here and I kind of push him back into it, you can see he just takes the damage and quickly expires. So it's very good for just kind of keeping mobs from wandering into your area passively. You don't have to power it, but you can. And in order to do so, you just click here and click on one of the blocks, and it will connect to one of the ends of it. As you see here, I have several of the LV wire relays just kind of transmitting the current through the razor wire. Now, I'm sure you've noticed a couple other new items as well. These are really where it's at. I don't get me wrong, the razor wire is really cool. It's sweet. It looks really nice, and it performs admirably, especially since you can just leave it and forget it, But there's something to be said about a gun, a turret emplacement, as well as a flamethrower turret emplacement, or a chemical thrower turret emplacement, I should say, because it's not necessarily a flamethrower. It can be used for spouting water if you so desire. Now, these are very highly customizable, but before we get into those, let's show you how to make these things. The gun turret is based on the revolver, but you have to also make a precision scope, which is made with some copper ingots and a glass pane. And then you've got your light engineering, redstone engineering, and turntable, which is one of the newer items I haven't covered yet either, and an extended magazine. And this will basically give you a really high power, very high magazine, and decent range machine gun. Well, semi-automatic. I mean, it will shoot regularly. Let me change back into creative mode just in case, because I can't remember what I have it set for at the moment. But if I put a volunteer out here, click the lever. Oh, wow, he was done. Let's say we've got an invasion of cows out here, and then flick the lever, and you'll see it makes quick work of the nearby populace, and it just kind of thins them out, and you can see that those guys are just out of its range. So it's currently got I don't know, maybe like about a 16 block radius, something like that, maybe a little bit less. But if you right click on here, if you hear it shooting, that's because they got a little bit too close. But if you right click on here, you can hover over a list. Oh dear. Bye bye baby cow. This is a blacklist, and you can leave the blacklist checkmarked or not. And it should or should not attack depending on what you have. You can choose players, you can choose neutrals, and so on. Right now I have it set to automatically attack animals. I can turn them off as well. And you can see here it can hold up to a stack of certain kinds of cartridges. Now, I should warn you, you don't want to put those that like the let's see, cartridge. Oh, I spelled that really horribly here. We've got castle, armor piercing, buckshot, high explosive, silver, dragon's breath, file, and flare. There may also be some kind of like homing cartridges as well that you can put in there. I don't see them in here right now, but I would not recommend that you use any kind of those, because it will shoot you even if you're not on the list, because it will try and go to the nearest thing it can, and it remembers where it's coming from. But anyway, I'm kind of waffling here. It's just really cool. If you want to add things on here, like yourself, let's say I remove myself by accident, Valen Frost Weaver, oops, and there we go. Just click add, and you're now on the list. You got your blacklist, so you don't get killed or anything like that. Plus, you can also add other players on here. It will remember who placed it, and therefore not allow other players to remove this. Now, nothing saying that they can't remove the power supply running to it, because it does require a certain amount of power for it to actually function, and you can actually pipe in and out more of the cartridges. Plus, it does need a lever in order for it to function. Same thing with any of the chemical thrower. It's very similar in functionality. It requires a lever, requires power, requires some kind of ammunition, plus you can set it up to absolutely murder and kill all sorts of nearby critters. Now let's check out the chemical thrower. Or the chem thrower, I should say. This one here, precision scope, metal barrel, light engineering block, redstone engineering block, turntable, and of course the chemical thrower, which was covered previously. It's a lot of fun. Now, I currently have just a couple of fluid pipes with some metal barrels that have ethanol in them right now being pumped into this. And you can see here it has ethanol, and it is also being powered as well. You can click here to ignite the fluid. It doesn't have to be ethanol. It can be whatever you want it to be, really. Just like I showed you before with the chemical thrower options that you can have. You can put fires out or whatnot. You can have yourself on the list. You can tell it to just absolutely torch animals. And if you don't want to have on-off levers, like you don't want people to be able to just run up and flick a lever to turn it on and off, you can, so desired, you can just invert options. Right now it's set to off, so if I actually shift right click, it will automatically just start making short work of the general populace. As you can see here, it's doing pretty good. It doesn't have quite as far of a range as the gun emplacement, but it can be quite a lot more effective setting people on fire with the longer durability. Oh, look at that! It just kind of spit a little bit out at that little guy just to take him out. So much fun, so much fun. So if you have not tried immersive engineering yet, if at all, I highly recommend you do this, because you can pump in your ammunition for either of these turrets, pump out your empty casings as well on the back or the bottom, and they're listed in your manual here. Are you still there? Just like in Portal. Now, I highly recommend you just give it a try, because if you want some kind of home defense, instead of having like an anti-mob spawn, why not have mob defenses? And I can't agree more that this is probably the best solution that could have come about for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, give a like. Don't forget to comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and spread the mischief to others if you think they'll enjoy this content too. And until next time, folks, I'll see ya.